Let's bring in Doug Kouns. He's a former special agent and supervisory special agent of the FBI and founder of Veracity IIR. Good morning to you, Doug. First of all, did I say the name of your company correctly? I want to make sure.
You did. You did.
Okay,
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
me.
Absolutely. It's good to see you. You know, you have done a lot of work at corrections facilities, specifically having to do with the lack of efficiency and corruption within these facilities. Officials say they're confident they're going to get these guys, but they are also saying this danger is not over. They're hoping this higher reward offers, or this higher reward offer will help bring these guys in. What do you make of where we are now in this manhunt?
Well, first of all, it's great. They've caught 8 of them. 2 left, one of which is very identifiable with face tattoos. You know, there's only so much you can do to change your appearance when you've tattooed your face. It appears that the noose is tightening. In my experience with these kind of cases, uh, their immediate needs are resources, money, transportation, food. So they're going to be looking to their resource network, the people that they know, their friends, their family. So I'm going to speculate that that's what law enforcement is focusing on. You know, it seems like they are closing in.
Yeah, and you would imagine this high reward offer probably is going to speak to some of those family members, some of the people who know them, who may be willing to speak for that amount of money. We know more than 700 tips have come in. You mentioned they changed their appearance. I want to talk a little bit about where your expertise comes in, because we're hearing to this jailbreak being referred to as an inside job. Several people already facing charges. Could the other individuals ultimately be facing additional charges? And what do you make of what we're finding out about this jail, the efficiency inside this jail, and the conditions inside this jail?
It sounds unfortunately typical among the correctional system in the United States. Typically way understaffed, way underfunded, poor training, poor oversight. And as far as the corruption goes, you know, they're not high-paying jobs; they're difficult jobs. There are certain factors that kind of lend itself to corruption that might follow, smuggling in contraband, cell phones, drugs, that kind of thing. To coordinate an escape like this, you probably need help from the outside. And official prison phones are monitored. So to have those conversations, you need a cell phone. And those are prevalent. You know, we've seen them all the time, often smuggled in by correctional officers, maintenance workers, third-party vendors, very creative on how they get these things in there. And typically, those are the highest dollar items when they're being bought and sold. You know,
Yeah.
things go for about 10 times in a prison what they would on the outside. So, you know, if $100 worth of drugs outside is going to cost you $1,000 on the inside. So it's lucrative. It fills that income gap that some of these people don't have.
Yeah, you know, there's a development that I think is very interesting here. I want to get your opinion on this. The sheriff in charge of the jail, Susan Hudson, she has asked for the DNA to be removed from a probe into the security breach, saying the DA's investigation was political. Now, marry that with the fact that they have asked for DNA of employees inside the jail. They've also asked for her DNA to be given. So what do you make of this overall investigation? What do you think is going on here based on what you're seeing play out in the public?
I think they're kind of getting ahead of themselves. You know, they're looking to point fingers at who's responsible. The immediate concern is public safety. There's still 2 dangerous people out there that need to be caught. And once that is done, you can focus on the breakdowns and the accountability and making sure that these things don't happen again. So getting DNA from higher level administrators, I don't really know what to make of that. I'll have to process a little bit, but clearly they are implying that there's some sort of a direct involvement.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the 2 dangerous guys who are still out there. They're still on the run. Police are putting a warning out this morning. We want to make sure that we let the public know. They're saying not to leave firearms in your cars. These inmates could be looking for, as you said, Doug, weapons and food. So that warning going out today nationwide, because again, like you just reiterated, these guys are still on the run and they are dangerous. There are their pictures. Please be aware of your surroundings. Situational awareness is always very important. Doug Kouns, good to see you. Thank you for joining us this
You
morning.
too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.